You have to upload the presentation PowerPoint.
Yes, yes. You have not uploaded.
No, presentation but PowerPoint not upload. Now we have upload our report. Assignment upload. Our assignment upload.
Uh,
Okay, now I prepare PowerPoint presentation and custom report also.
Sorry?
I also print out
Ah,
also.
okay, okay. You make the presentation with the word bar.
7 7.
What's the number?
Number 7. And good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, colleagues. I like to introduce our group members. I am RPDPSN and
That's your group members.
here. All are here.
Okay.
Uh, I like to introduce my group members. RMAGSP Samarkon and I am Douglas PSN. Uh, BMTIG Balasurya, TG Lakshman and WDSI Kumar. Then I like to uh, got our research audit research topics. Our topic is the influence of the audit report on the relevant accounting information reported by the listed Romanian companies. This audit research done by Milal, Elena Rabu and Ian Proctor Rabu in Romanian citizen. This is our background of the topics. There is information asymmetric among the different stakeholders. The information published by companies in their financial statement might contain distorted figures since managers of companies may try to show positive pictures of financial performance to continue the owners that they have performed their roles well. Investors are especially concerned about figures disclosed in annual reports of listed companies when making investment decisions. The auditors offer through the audit reports a professional, objective and independent opinion regarding the presentation in financial statement of the true and fair view in most significant aspect of the financial position and performance in accordance with accounting framework. One of the objective audit opinion is support the actual and possible investors decision. Investors depend on audit opinion expressed by auditor regarding financial statements since auditors have access to inside information and their high reliability of professional judgment. Especially they more rely on audit opinion expressed by reputed audit firms since their members and staff receive continuous training. Our selected research discuss the impact of the audit report on the on decision of investors on listed Romanian companies. Then this is the background of the topics. Then I like to invite Mr. Lakshman to do the objective analysis.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Concept included in our selected article. Factors of the stock return can be analyzed by the following two models: capital assets pricing model and arbitrage pricing theory. External factors affecting to stock return. There are audit opinion, unemployment level, global domestic product, interest rate, monetary policy, market return, general price level and inflation rate. Internal factors affecting to the stock return. Internal factors affecting to the stock return. There are return on equity ratio, audit opinion, accounting information. Objective of our research article, selected research article, to analyze the influence of the audit report, preparing for the financial statement of the listed company on the investor's decision on the financial market regarding the stock acquisition or sale. Our presentation continues at the next minute.
Good afternoon. Now I am going to describe the methodology of this research. Here we have categorized, and they have used 59 audited financial statements of listed companies in Bucharest Stock Exchange in Romania in 2012. They have taken the secondary data from those financial statements. Out of that, some audited statements are from the reputed audit firms. There was four major auditors in the that Bucharest exchange in Romania, and others are non-prominent or not major audit firms. And they have used the numerical model and dummy variable to analyze for data collected. Here, as an independent variable, they have taken ROE, return on equity, return on asset ROA, and net margin, and the financial autonomy ratio. Then, as a dummy variable, they have taken the 1 and 0 for dummy variable, unqualified opinion marked as a 0, and qualified audit opinions marked as 1. Unqualified audit opinions with observation, they have marked as 1, and the auditors in not form big 4, they have marked as 0. Then dependent variable, stock return, no added value of the return, otherwise capital gain yield, that is the price increase, has taken as a dependent variable. In order to achieve the research result, they have used the ANCOA regression model. ANCOA model, the dependent variable is quantitative, while the independent variable can be both quantitative scale and type and alternative dummy type. It has been used the SPSS for data analysis purpose. And here we have that regression model. Right now I can't show it. There is a big regression model, and using that regression model, they have yes, sir. This is the regression model, and using that regression model, they have developed some hypothesis. Using that hypothesis, they are going to prove that the hypothesis. In order to describe these hypothesis things, I will invite my colleague to do this presentation further. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. So my part is to now my colleagues explain the other part of the research and what the research is, and now I am going to explain you what hypotheses are. Accordingly, now they told they have selected listed companies in Romanian stock exchange, and they have used the annual reports of Romanian listed companies. Accordingly, research hypothesis is an important part of any research. So, my friends, I am going to tell you what hypotheses are. So, one hypothesis is for Romanian listed companies, financial statement audited that are presented have significant influence on the stock return according to the financial performance and position of the company based on the accounting information. The other hypothesis is that depend on the opinion in the audit report and on the Big Four auditors' memberships, there are significant differences between the average of the stock return determined by the company's financial position based on the accounting information. So now I am going to explain the conceptual framework. So it is shown in you can see it, and now what they what they are going to find in their research, the research conducted in Romania, and what they are going to find the relationship. That means the relationship between return on equity, return on asset, net margin, financial autonomy, and the relationship with that means they want to see whether it has an impact on stock value. So finally, let me present results or finding of the research. The research article conclude that information published in Romanian companies have significant influence on stock prices depending on the nature of audit opinion on the audit report and on the big auditors and on the auditors big four membership. What is big four membership in their context is I am going to explain you the reputed audit firm in that country. Now in Sri Lanka also, you know, if you go through an annual report, there are famous companies like PricewaterhouseCoopers and Ernst & Young and KPMG Ford Roads. You can hardly find other audit firm names in public limited companies. The other conclusion is that at the same time, depending on the opinion in the audit report and the auditors for membership, there are significant differences between the average stock values determined by the company's performance and financial position expressed through the accounting information. So my friends, thank you very much.
Now we have come to the end of our presentation. I'm going to explain the importance of our research to Sri Lankan context. Sri Lankan investors also have less information regarding internal affairs of listed companies in Sri Lanka. Hence, this type of study important in Sri Lankan context. Especially, most of the Sri Lankan listed companies are audited by the reputed audit firms like Ernst and Young, KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers, who are the famous audit firms in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan investors rely on the nature of audit opinion and the reputation of the audit firms. Sri Lankan stock market is very volatile and very not in stable manner. According to the empirical evidence found in Sri Lanka, there is lack of statistically significant impact on the stock prices and returns by qualified audit reports indicating that there is lack of information content of qualified audit reports. Furthermore, the Sri Lankan capital market is found to be not inefficient. The absence of information content related to qualified reports lead to insufficient stock market in Sri Lanka. Therefore, by encouraging good audit reports, that we can have good stock returns. So that now I'm going to wind up our presentation. Thank you very much.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Our research presentation, risk management, internal control, and organizational evaluation. Our group members, myself, and Mr. Tayaraj and S D Edirisingha. Background of topics. The title of this The title of this paper explanation of impact of the technology coverage on internal control mechanism of the enterprises. The significance point is that is auditors should be aware of the security concern faced to financial or ethics organizational information system, and this title attempts to bring security system design and the organizational vulnerabilities in the context the coverage of the communication and network technology with complex information technology with business focus. Nature of the security of system. Our nature of security system accordance with this technology and risk management. It is through mainly stick and dynamic categories. The real signal is in technological development is that software and hardware updated harm to the our critically. Yet the threat is the constantly changing the surveillance cycle, hackers and IT security software. Each time new version of the tool made available for the sales and hackers find the exploit in the weakness. The software company fix a weakness and the hackers find the new ones. The circle never ends. However, efficiency of the security of technology is dependent on the way people using property technology does close the vulnerability gaps by the engaging people to their jobs more the efficiency from the assets. Thank you.
Very good evening to all. So today our topic is risk management, internal control and organizational vulnerabilities. So under this one we have to already explain the background of the studies and nature of the system. So my part is to design of security system. Today is most important things in the security system in the organization. So there are three factors incorporate with the there are three factors contributing the designing the security system. First one is security threat have become much more sophisticated in the last few years. So the security threats. So when we are entering the security system, the security systems are more challenges one. Second one, technology has changed to the physical security prejudice. When we are design the new security system, so new technology will updated. So we have to face that challenge also. Then the quest by organization to improve business processes, including the cost of doing the business. So when we are designing the security system, so there is a cost. So business process means there is a set of activity done by the organization. So in that time there is a cost arise. So in same scenario, when we are designing the security system, the cost also increase. So the second one is network. So according to the paper, so according to the research paper, the convenient issue is forcing the physical and logical security department to rely more of IP business network than the past. So network means so internal network and external networks are there. It is well known risk management, internal control, and that these networks are under the consistent change. So we know about what is internal control and what is risk management. So the internal control is a set of policies that are that are made by the organization. So that also the risk also is a most important part. It is a potential problem. Sometime it may be happen or not. So under the risk conceptual framework, under the conceptual definition of the risk, so there are three things under concerning the risk concern, future happening, risk involved change in mind or opinion, risk involved choice and uncertainty. So there are two types of characteristic of risk: uncertainty and loss. So in this is the management viewpoint, and also in the auditor's viewpoint, the auditor risk is to the auditor may give an inappropriate audit opinion on the financial statement. So there are three components in the audit risk: inherent risk, control risk, and deduction risk. So multiple of these inherent risk, control risk, and deduction risk, the audit risk will be made. So under the further explanation to the network, its from attack is much more complex on the conveyed network. Vulnerabilities may be exploited through the IP network, cause damage that may not be easily discovered. The remedial cost and complexity need to weigh against the level of the potential damage. The concept included in this article, the study consists the concept of risk management, internal control, and organizational vulnerabilities. So then the research methodology, the conceptual analysis is based on the current state of affairs and has taken action research techniques under the qualitative research. So action research technique refers to a process of uncovering solution through progressive problem solving the activities. The outcome is intended to improve the practices and address issue. The findings can observe with the current issue. The main objective is that to make these auditors aware about the technology risk management, its impact on the enterprise internal control and organizational vulnerabilities. So the result finding under the research, the study explores the current issues regarding the risk management, internal control, and organizational vulnerabilities. The organization should perform the same level due to diligence regarding the introduction to the technology to the operation, and they would new employees or critical assets, and it can be achieved the adding new technical solution than good control. Then common process and procedure of the physical and logical securities are yet no pathway to get the systematic relationship necessary to meet these threats. And also, however, it can be possible through the convenient. So convergence offers to roadmap to holistic approach to the risk management, and also it is an evaluation that becoming more important to the organization each day. Therefore, we need to focus the risk and security from the holistic point view in the organization in order to achieve the goals efficiently. So in context of Sri Lanka, so the uncertain economy time of past few years have had a major effect on how Sri Lankan companies operate these days. So the companies that used to operate smoothly with the help of forecast and projection now refrain from making business judgment that are set of stone. Now the many private local companies have renewed focus to manage the risk. The risk is the main cause of uncertainty in any firm. Thus, the country business increasingly focus more identifying risk and managing them before they even affect the business. So, the ability to manage the risk will help to companies act more efficiently on further Sri Lankan companies' business decision. So, their knowledge of risk and internal control they are facing will give the various option to how deal with the potential problem in the Sri Lankan context. That's all. Thank you. The study explored the current issue regarding the risk management, internal control, and organizational vulnerabilities. The organization should perform the same level of due diligence regarding the introduction of technology to their operation as they would be a new employee or critical assets, and it be achieved by adding the new technology solution than the good control.
Just tell me what's the final the final finding.
So when we are improving the technology, how to risk management and indirect control system has been resolved, or how to make the face that risk management and indirect control like that.
Changing that another business perspective, then how do you manage the risk and internal controls?
Thank you, sir.
Three members of the
Online Edirisingha. 53 is online. Already you called.
no, you can't do that. Oh, when you upload the first, then you can get forward. No, if you have uploaded the presentation, have you uploaded? No, you said so with the others. You have fine. And again, I expected only the presentation. You have prepared the that's I put one no. The presentation. Because research article, piano, again, knowledge and another report. It's all about the presentation is what I expected. Okay. So the thing is, with the system, you can't use that. That's the point. So what you can do is, you can use this. Okay, okay. You can. How will you present this? Individual. Group. Other side of group. Then 3%.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to present to you a research article done by Mr. A.D. Simon in 2012 regarding the usage of GAS system by the external auditors. Once you hear these three letters GAS, you may be wonder what these three letters stand for. Some of you may be familiar with this word. GAS means the Generalized Audit Software. If I give you a brief introduction about this GAS system, Generalized audit software is a technique that used by the auditors. Now almost all the accounting functions and transactions, they are done through computer environment. So it's expected that audit function also will be computerized in the future. So out of this audit analysis techniques, GA system plays a very significant role. Most importantly, it is being widely accepted by globally. So in this research article, Mr. A.T. Simon, his main purpose is to find out the percentage of this usage of this generalized audit software in UK. Especially, he has focused about the small and medium scale organizations in UK, because almost all the researchers, they have focused on the big four companies. So finally, he has found out the percentage of usage of this generalized audit software by the UK small and medium scale organizations. So before going further, I would like to introduce my team members. We have 5 team members, and myself, I'm Aruni, and I have given you the background of this topic, and the methodology will be explained by Mr. Mohan, and the concept would be explained by Mr. Lakshan, and then Fasna will explain about the importance of this topic and the findings of this topic. And finally, last but not the least, Ms. Krishani, she will explain about the importance of this concept to Sri Lankan environment. Thank you very much.
The generalized audit software. Actually, this software is used in the UK currently. However, there are so many articles regarding the generalized audit software have been done earlier, but most of the research regarding the internal audit, very few research have been done regarding the external audit. Here the research is going to discuss about the utilization of this GAS by a external auditor. However, regarding that, the research is going to ascertain the extent to which that GAS is utilization by the external auditor currently, and the same time identify the influence that external auditor whether use or not the GAS for the business. Regarding that, there are so many pressures to utilize the GAS by external auditor, or as well as there are so many pressures to not to utilize the GAS by the external auditor. To discuss that, the researcher has discussed the research regarding the following 3 scenarios. What is the current status of GAS utilization by the external auditor in the UK? What are the factors that influence the use of GAS? What are the reasons that the external auditor might choose or not to adopt the GAS? That is the concept regarding this article. The methodology will be discussed by our colleagues Mohan.
Lasanta. Regarding this audit, I'm general auditing software. So I'm going to explain the methodology. Basic, all the informations are collected from the web base. All the primary data, are collected from the website. From all the primary data collected from the more than 200 statutory auditors. How the software is basically using for especially the external auditor. Mr. Simon especially done this audit the first time. In the UK, lot of the auditors, the researchers there, especially in the UK, first time Mr. Hayden done this audit regarding the external auditor, how the software is affected to the external auditor. I think is basic on the methodology. The basic on the question here that 2 type of users. One is influence and non-influence. And under the non-influence, all the client and the auditors and the technicals and other teams how they using that information and that non-usage journal auditing systems how they using the both especially this the data is collected from web-based. All the primary data is all the questions are prepared by the based on the external auditors. That results will be the explain. The first now will explain how is possible for this.
Thank you, Mohan. Thank you, Mohan. Good evening to all. Then I would like to explain about the finding and the results of this research. According to the data analysis by using the methodology, the researcher find the generalized this audit software are usually very low among the auditors in the UK. That is the final results of the researcher, because there are so many reasons behind this results, because the 73% only the make not use of generalized audit software by the auditors, because of there are so many reasons. One is the limiting benefit of using the audit software in the auditing in the small client basis, and other one is higher cost. Other one, next one is the lack of use of this audit software, and it is difficult to adaptation. But however, there are rest of this 26% that positive to making the signal to using the audit software among the auditors in the UK. And there are so many factors identified by the researcher. That is, first one is client. That means support the client environment. That means the clients support to the software, and the auditor can use the audit software and evaluate the audit task. And other one is the job relevance. It is support the career progression. And other one is the auditing standard, and the methodology is the effective and the efficiency. And next factor is the audit software implementation. And other one is the audit engagement, that is referring about the available of the resource. In the UK environment, there is a possibility to use of the audit software among the auditors in the small medium clients. And other one is the technology. It is full support of the technology and personal experience and the personal knowledge and the management also support. These are the factors that influence to use the audit software. But however, it is 73% showing the that negative results. That means the not influence to use the audit software. Because of the organizational resource and the support is not enough to the auditors to use the audit software. And personal knowledge and experience, sometimes some clients it is feeling that lack. And other one is the technology and cost and resources. All are these factors is showing the negative factors that not influence to use the audit software. Ultimately, the researcher proposed a consolidated set of factors which influence auditors' decision to adopt audit software, although the findings are relevant primarily for the small medium enterprises. Then I would like to invite the Trishani to explain about the this contact, how important to the Sri Lanka.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I will explain its importance to the Sri Lanka context. When we are considering GAS, it is important. We can apply to the Sri Lanka context also. GAS will help to auditors to identify misstatement in the financial statement, to identify to achieve their general audit objectives. What are the such as competence, validity, valuations, disclosures, as well as auditing standard also encourage the GS usage. As well as I can mention that one. When we are using this system, this system have to auditors to integrate various type of accounting standard, and I am to conduct the 100% of analysis of the client's financial data, as well as uh, when we compare regarding this software, we can finally identify that this software is software at the value to the private and public sector. I hope that all of you got an idea about our research. Thank you very much.
Generalized common software for all.
Good afternoon, all of you. I select my topic is uh, an evaluation of client fraud reasoning motives, fraud reasoning motives in assessing fraud risk, especially concerning the internal auditors and external auditors. This research done by three person. It is present to International Accounting and Business Conference in 2015, and I explain the background of these topics. Actually, when we assessment the fraud risk, the auditor role is auditor should maintain their auditing process considering the professional due care and he, he auditor try to give reasonable assurance regarding the financial state. In addition to management role is maintain a good internal control system in the organization. In this research paper, identify the concept, broad single concept. It is the clients, the client firms maintain try to make a frauds considering three concepts. It is the first one is maybe an incentive or pressure, financial pressure from the top management. In addition to that, other fraud sorry reason maybe opportunities. They try to make a frauds considering opportunity. Other thing is attitudes. There may be an attitude affect to the frauds. The main objectives of this research is examine the effect of fraud risk factors in assessing fraud risk. The first one is then examine the interaction effect of the different combination of fraud risk assessment in the assessing fraud risk. These two main objectives of the study is target to find out the what is the combination of fraud factors and risk assessment. Other thing is in this concept, this article, the internal auditors also external auditors should be considered about the both prevention and detection of the frauds of the financial statement. Therefore, they have to consider about the I mentioned before opportunities, pressures, and attitudes of the client company when assessing the fraud risk that particular company. In addition to that, before a global crime survey, past surveys find out most of the client companies most of the client companies frauds occur due to the internal control system weaknesses. It is as a percentage 68%. In addition to that, 18% from opportunities and other 14% is attitudes due to the client companies employees attitude. That's the previous findings according to the Global Economic Crime Survey. This research used one independent variable, fraud risk assessment, and three independent variable. Independent variable is the internal control system, and two is the pressure, financial pressure, and three type of auditors, maybe internal auditors or external auditors. Their thinking is also taken into consideration when assessing the fraud risk. They select 200 internal and external auditors and use separate two cases to assess how they consider the fraud, how they assess fraud risk when they facing certain scenarios. It is according to the calculation, the article use a ranking procedure, and it is find out the final result. It is a result is there is a significant relationship between fraud risk factors and auditors fraud risk assessment judgment. I mentioned the factors. Factors means internal control system, attitudes, and I mentioned before type of auditors, pressure, and internal control system. Then among them, there are financial pressure and fraud. Internal control system is a basic significant relationship when assessing the fraud risk of the fraud risk assessment judgment. In Sri Lanka view, we know we are in the good governance concept, but unfortunately we have here lot of frauds in present economic situation. As a example, bond issue in the past few months, and non-compliance with procurement procedures in the Kilnochi plant, Norachore plant, power plant, and fraud related to VAT in last past years. Therefore, the auditors of the Sri Lankan concept also should consider the have to consider fraud assessment as fraud and risk assessment judgment, because of the most of the Sri Lankan situation, Sri Lankan scenarios. We can now see the lot of frauds in the financial institute, government institution, and private institution. Therefore, Sri Lankan companies, Sri Lankan private audit firm, and also auditor department, and in addition to the other internal auditors, also should consider about the fraud assessment judgment factors when doing auditing activities. Thank you.
මල්ලි සර්ගේ නම කිව්වද මල්ලි? ඉස්සරහට ගියා කියලා ඉස්සලා ලකුණු කරගත්තද? අපරාධ නේද? කියලා ඉන්නත් තිබ්බ සර්ට ඔච්චර දහලන්න වුණා නේ. හරි මල්ලි ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එක සර්ට දාලා ඉන්න බෑ. එහෙම බෑනේ. ලකුණු දෙන්නේ අරකටද? ඔයා පැහැදිලිව අහගෙන එන්න. ලකුණු දෙන්නේ මොකටද කියලා අපි මේල් කරන්නද කියලා ඔබ සර්ට? එළ. ඔව්.
Good evening, all of you. Today we are going to review the article done by James L. Bierstaker and Richard G. Brody and Carl Pacini on accountants' perceptions regarding fraud detection and prevention methods. First of all, I like to explain what is fraud. Fraud is an intentional act by one or more individuals among management, employees, or third parties to obtain an unjust or illegal advantage. Nowadays, a lot of organizations use fraud prevention methods such as maintain a fraud policy and employee reference checks, use analytical review, password protection, and firewall protection. From our review, we hope to cover the background of the topic and concepts included in the article and methodology and research finding of the research and conclusion and how we can use it in Sri Lankan context. If we go through the background of the topic, the article on accountants' perception regarding fraud detection and prevention method is based on a research carried out by three scholars, namely James L. Bierstaker, Richard G. Brody, and Carl Pacini in America. Today we can see in organizations the frauds are increasing. So to prevent the frauds, lot of organizations use lot of methods. In this article, they try to analyze which methods are very useful for prevent from frauds. Purposes of this research was to examine the extent to which accountants, internal auditors, and certified fraud examiners use fraud prevention and detection methods. And second one is to examine their perception regarding the effectiveness of the methods. From this article, they have covered following these concepts. They have covered maintain a fraud policy and establish a telephone hotline, employee reference check, and fraud prevention software like as password protection, firewalls, digital analysis, data mining, and discovery sampling. And also they have explained about forensic accountants, and this is very important topic in this article because finally they have conclude the forensic accountants is very useful fraud prevention method. To carry on the review article, I invite my friend Veronica.
I would like to present the methodology. The researchers have collected data from 86 accountants, internal auditors, and certified fraud examiners. Multiple methods have been used to collect information such as mail surveys, face-to-face interviews, and through volunteers recruited from a specific website. Then I would like to present the results and findings of the research. As per the research results, 56% of companies had been a victim of a fraud, while 24% had not been a victim. Further, 52% of participants expected fraud to increase in future. It reveals that the probability of occurring frauds is high in any scale of companies. In respect of fraud prevention, 48% of participants expressed that training on fraud prevention had increased over the past 3 years, while 45% say it is not. Further, 56% have confirmed that funds allocated to the internal audit department had increased over the last 3 years. As for the research findings, most frequently used fraud procedures are virus protection, firewalls, password protection, and internal control reviews. And the least used fraud procedures are forensic accountants, digital analysis, staff rotation, employment contracts, and data mining. However, these least frequently used methods have received the highest rating of effectiveness. This study gives practical implications to accounting practitioners, internal auditors, and fraud examiners regarding what fraud detection and prevention methods work best. Normally, companies use less effective methods to prevent frauds rather than using effective one due to the cost constraint. The research has specifically highlighted the importance of investor in forensic accounting as the best method of fraud prevention. Further, continuous auditing, discovery sampling, data mining, and digital analysis are the other effective methods in this field. In addition, the researchers further encourage organizations to use effective techniques neglecting the size of the company. With this conclusion, we can suggest that Sri Lankan companies can also use above mentioned effective methods, most importantly forensic accounting, to prevent frauds. Thank you. Discovery sampling, data mining, and digital analysis are the other effective methods. Good evening. We are going to review the article done by Mr. Tariq Ismail on the topic of internal auditors' perspectives about their role in risk management in Egyptian banking sector. And my friends, Chintani, she will done by methodology part, and the Rasika, she will done by the conclusion part. Here I'm going to explain the background and concept of this research article. The purpose of this article is to constitute a comprehensive framework of risk management and to explore the role played by internal auditors in the audit of risk management. This article also attempts to collect internal auditors' opinion regarding other factors on risk management auditing, where its use serves from internal auditors working in Egyptian banking sector to test its predictions. Over the past few years, there have been major company failures due to financial irregularities. This has inevitably led introducing regulations by several countries to tighten internal controls within companies. Furthermore, the rise of corporate scandals, financial statements, frauds, and mismanagement in the international financial markets, along with the enforcement of many legislations. The emphasize understanding the proper application of risk management and corporate governance concepts have emphasized regulators and managers to properly implement risk management, internal control, and governance principles for promoting operational efficiency, along with acting as buffer to reduce losses in times of crisis. In view of the substantial benefits that can be leveraged through risk management, many of the emerging countries like Egypt are on the way to embed risk management systems in organizations. Internal audit is an independent, objective assurance and consulting activity. Its core role with regards to enterprise risk management is to provide objective assurance to the board on the effectiveness of risk management. Enterprise risk management can be viewed as a natural evolution of the process of risk management. Egyptian banking sector has commercial banks, business and investment banks, and specialized banks. The research aims to identify major criteria of the comprehensive risk management framework that can be employed in banks incorporated in Egypt, to define the major procedures to oversee the whole risk management framework in order to provide reasonable assurance to the bank's shareholders on the effectiveness of risk management, to examine the role played by internal auditor and other actors in the audit of risk management framework, and to examine the influence of type of bank's ownership on both effectiveness and quality of risk-based audit process. For developing hypotheses, it is expected that internal auditors in banks incorporated in Egypt have aware of risk management framework and would be able to access its effectiveness to provide assurance to management. And the methodology will be described by
Thank you, Buddhika. I'm going to explain the methodology of this research. It has developed a structured questionnaire for this research. The questionnaire is divided into two basic sections. First section is for basic understood and the avoidability of the biased answers, and the second section is to get the information relating this research. It is for internal auditors, and it has this questionnaire has mailed to 39 banks in Egypt, and they have taken the feedbacks from internal auditors, and according to that, they have developed 6 hypotheses. First one is first hypothesis 1 is hypothesis 1 is internal auditors have awareness of the criteria of an effective risk management framework. This has accepted. And the hypothesis 2 is risk-based audit approach is currently adopted by internal auditors. This one is rejected. And hypothesis 3, again hypothesis 3 has subdivided into 4 hypotheses. From these 4, out of these 4, 2 has accepted and 2 has rejected. Hypothesis 4 is active role played by actors involved in risk management has a significant influence on quality of risk-based audit procedures. It has also subdivided into 4 hypotheses. Out of these 4, 1 is accepted and other 3 are rejected. And the fifth one is the type of bank ownership would influence the effectiveness of the risk management framework. It has also accepted. And hypothesis 6, the type of bank ownership would influence the quality of the risk-based audit procedure. It has also accepted. I'm inviting Ms. Rasika to give the conclusion of the research. Thank you.
Thank you, Chintani. Good evening to all. My friends are telling the findings and research topic and findings. According to that findings, I am telling to the conclusion. My conclusion is there is a relationship between banking ownership, effectiveness, and quality risk management and framework. Internal auditors have awareness of the criteria of an effective risk management framework. Risk-based audit approach is currently not adopted by majority of internal auditors surveyed. Banking supervisors don't play a significant role in risk management, having an effective risk management framework. Role of the internal auditors and audit committee is highly impact effectiveness in risk management. Thank you, all of you.
Right. Right. We had 6 presentations. So, any presenters who are willing to do the presentations online? Anybody is in online to make the presentations? You have the time. Anybody? Edirisingha is one of the group. Then Emmanuel, I don't know. Pereira. So if you are in the group, any group, then it's all right. So anybody is willing to make a presentation? So there is we have the time.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is MSA Pereira.
Yes.
We are ready to present,
Yes,
sir.
yes. Edirisingha, you are in one group, right? Right.
Edirisingha, not Edirisingha, sir. We have Shobana, Jerem, and Sathaksran.
Right. So you can do the presentation, okay?
Okay, sir. Give me a minute, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Today we are going to present on corporate governance and forensic accountants' role and the global regulatory action. The background of this paper would be done by Mr. Sathaksran.
Yes. Yes. First of all, I like to introduce myself. My name is Sathaksran. My registered number 58. Corporate governance and forensic accountants role, global regulatory action scenario. This case study had been.
So we can't hear you. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Speak loudly. We can't hear you now. Okay.
Now, okay, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, I like to introduce myself. My name is Sathaksran. My registration number is 58. Corporate governance and forensic accountants role, global regulatory action scenario. This case study had been carried out by Professor Madan Lal Basian of KIMEB University, Republic of Kazakhstan, and had been published on International Journal Accounting Research 2013. It is based on the two main aspects of today's corporate world in terms of financial fraud and white-collar crimes, which are corporate governance and forensic accounting. Recent corporate scandals and the later outcry for transparency, honesty in reporting, let my crimes. Let my accounting firms in the USA expand their service, included forensic and fraud. Here are few examples for major corporate frauds. Enron tops the list of biggest US corporate collapse. The company boosted in the profit and height debt totaling over 1 billion over several years. WorldCom, where tops executive overstated earning while capitalizing 9 billion of telecom operating expenses, thus overstating profit and assets in order to cover losses. Exorcised overstated earning for 5 years by misapplication of various accounting rules to boost income by 1.5 million. Thank you very much, sir. Next part we'll continue. Mr. Emmanuel.
By the way, send that. Hello. Yes. By the way, send that your list of members, numbers, student numbers.
Sir, can we get our presentation on the Skype?
No, you make the presentation, so you can just type. Anybody can just type the list of members.
Yes, sir. We have a PowerPoint presentation uploaded. Can we put it
All right.
on the?
Okay. I'll be taking that. What's the number you have uploaded?
27, sir. MSA Pereira.
27.
PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. All right. Right. You can continue.
Sir, I'm Shobana, MS22. Sir?
Yeah. Increase the mic volume.
Okay, sir.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear
Please
me now?
increase the volume.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Okay. I'm Shobana. My registration number is 22.
Okay.
Now I'm going to discuss about the methodology and the concepts used in this research. We know the main concept discussed on this paper is the link between forensic accounting and corporate governance against corporate fraud. As per the author of this case paper, forensic accounting is defined as a merger of forensic science and accounting. So first we will see what is forensic accounting. Forensic accounting involves the application of accounting concepts and techniques to legal problems. The forensic accounting demands reporting. Where the fraud occurs, it expects the reporting. That report will be the evidence in the court of law or in the administrative proceeding. So the forensic accounting is the application of accounting concepts and techniques to legal problems. Then we will see the other variable, the corporate governance. The corporate governance is the system of rules, practices and processes by which a company is directed and controlled. Corporate governance is very important to an organization because every organization has its stakeholders. The stakeholders have some expectation as well as the company's management has some expectations. The corporate governance helps to keep the balance of the interest of the company stakeholders. The stakeholders are such as shareholders, management, customers, suppliers, financiers, government and the community. For an example, if the management requires more salary, the company's profitability will be reduced. If profitability will reduce, then it will be a disadvantage to the investors. So there should be a balance of the stakeholders' interest. The corporate governance helps to keep this balance. The forensic accounting deals with the application of accounting concepts and techniques to legal problems. Therefore, the main concept discussed on this paper is the link between forensic accounting and the corporate governance against corporate fraud. In this research paper, the author uses the three-tier security system of the organization. That is shown in the PowerPoint slide. The first one is corporate governance code, the second one is reporting system, and the third one is system of internal controls. The corporate governance code consists of, first one, enforce company policy. Every organization should have its policy, and the activities should be according to the company's policy. Then achieve objectives. The corporate governance code should be helpful to achieve the objectives of the organization. Then monitoring the performance. The performance should be monitored, and if there are any variance between the actual and the budgeted, there should be some corrective measures to rectify that errors. Then adequate disclosure of the company's activity. There should be adequate disclosure in the financial reports to the stakeholders. The second one is reporting system. In the reporting system, the financial reports should be done according to the generally accepted accounting principles. Then the statement on auditing standard. Third one is system of internal controls. In the statement of internal controls, there are three: assurance on the effectiveness and the efficiency of the operations, then the reliability of the financial reporting. Reliability in the sense the information provided in the financial report should be reliable, because the investors or the stakeholders are making their decisions based on the financial reporting information. Then the compliance with applicable laws and regulations. The company's activities and whatever the activities done in the company should be according to the applicable laws and regulations. Therefore, in this research paper, the author used this three-tier security system to the organization's corporate governance. There are three: corporate governance code, reporting system, and the system of internal controls. These are basically the methodologies used in this research paper. This is the code of corporate governance in the company reporting system and the system of internal controls of the company. Next, I would like to invite Sureni to present about the results or the findings of the research. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shobhana. Yes, I would like to present on the results of this findings of this paper. The author identifies three main areas of weaknesses on the above system as the reasons for occurrence of corporate scandal, despite the techniques followed by the business, that is, lack of well-developed and implemented policy of corporate governance, lack of honesty and transparency in reporting, and inefficient and ineffective system of internal controls. This case paper identifies forensic accounting as the solution or the connecting link between the business operation and the security system in place for prevention of fraud by mitigating the said three weaknesses. Author quotes forensic accounting definition by Bolonga in 1995. Forensic accounting is the application of financial skills and an investigative mentality to unresolved issues, conduct within the context of rule of evidence. As an emerging discipline, it encompasses financial expertise, fraud knowledge, and a sound knowledge and understanding of business reality and the working of the legal system. This definition highlights the fact forensic accounting plays a vital role in the coordinating company efforts to achieve cohesive policy of ethical behavior within an organization. It gives the forensic accountants expertise in relation to areas such as developing a system of corporate governance, then ensuring governance policies and objectives are connected to the internal control system of the organization, and also setting up of a fraud prevention system in the company, as well as investigating any existing frauds. Then the author goes on to say that forensic accountant needs to be proficient in number of skills, such as in-depth knowledge of the financial statements and the ability to critically analyze them, then also the understanding of fraud schemes, then the ability to comprehend the internal control systems of the corporation, as well as proficiency in computer and knowledge of network systems, then the understanding or the knowledge of psychology in order to understand the impulse behind the criminal behavior, then interpersonal and also communication skills, and thorough knowledge of governance policy, as well as command of criminal and civil law. Then the author goes to identify that forensic accountant can play a major role in improving the corporate governance by being part of the governance committee of the company in number of areas. such as by formulating and establishing a governance policy, by ensuring appropriate mix of management and independent directors on the board and setting out their appropriate responsibilities, and also by ensuring that the company code of ethics for employees and management. Then also in terms of preventing fraud, by establishing efficient internal control system, by incorporating ethical behavior, and also by going ahead with strong corporate governance policy, good accounting system, strong procedural controls to also to safeguard assets, and also auditing mechanism. Then in terms of fraud investigation, forensic accountant can ensure that integrity of financial statements by investigating for fraud, and also by identifying areas of risk and associated fraud symptoms, and also pursuing any risk areas found out aggressively. Also establishing consequences, in other words, appropriate punishment. Fraud deterrence should also include expectation of punishment. Forensic accountant can help in creating policy that clearly state the company's intent to take action against any criminal activity. Also, effective line of communication. Communication is the key element in ensuring that employees and also stakeholders are aware of their rights and responsibilities. And most importantly, then the vigilant oversight, that is constant monitoring and evaluating to ensure that the systems are functioning well. Forensic accountant can monitor not only the compliance at the top level of the corporate power, but also of the management procedures and as well as employee activities. Then to talk on the global regulatory action for fraud, my good friend Jerome would take over the presentation.
Please tell me what's your conclusion. Those who have presented, can you hear?
Yes, yes. The conclusion is that that we can use this forensic accounting in Sri Lankan context as well.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Jerome would present on it.
Hello.
Yeah.
My final part. I am Jerome Emmanuel.
Yes.
MS26. My final part, based on the top research, you understand about the corporate governance and forensic accounting linkage between the based on research. And finally, the global regulatory action for the corporate frauds and corporate governance. As per the author, the recently identified the 4 types of corporate regulatory action to reduce the corporate fraud and corporate governance. The first one is the USA Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, the International Federation of Accountants, and the Organization Economic Cooperation and Development, and the final is the USA and EU Cooperation for the Corporate Reforms. These are the action, global regulatory action to helps to corporate frauds and corporate governance for the based on the research. And finally, so the importance of to Sri Lankan context, the final part, and based on the research, this is a study very useful for the current Sri Lankan context, as Sri Lankan has experienced a rapid increasing in the financial fraud in both private sector and companies and public sector organizations during the past few decades. Misappropriation of public fund by the powerful politician and top official of government institute have led to investigation carried out by Financial Crime Investigation Division. Further, private sector causes such as example for the Golden Key credit card company, where financial misappropriation can be given as an example, and hence important and strong need for the forensic accounting and corporate governance can be felt in Sri Lanka as well. As mentioned on this case study paper, forensic accounting skills are essential in convicting the fraudsters in each of these cases of financial fraud. Also, the need for the stronger corporate governance policies being practices and adhere in the organization is of this derived need for the current financial crime wave. Further, Sri Lanka need to generate best equipped professional to perform forensic accounting services, while the forensic accounting and auditing practice had command in major countries around the world from early as 1995. The seed of the specialization has yet to take off in Sri Lanka. The opportunity for the forensic accounts are growing at the rapid speed. Hence, it can be concluded it is requirement of time to incorporating forensic accounting and corporate governance in terms of ethical behavior in the professional course curriculum and undergraduate higher study of Sri Lanka. They by build financial professionals with required skill to face the challenges in relation to the financial fraud and white collar crimes. So mainly that's important for the in recent situation, because the public fund are more provide for the public. So these regulatory and also forensic accounting is the most important for the nowadays in Sri Lanka. And thank you.
Right, okay, thank you. So there are, so just to make sure that your group members are 22, 26, 27 and 58, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Right, okay, thanks, okay.
Thank
So
you,
any
sir.
other presenters? Yes? He's in your group now? Alone? What is that, alone? Right, so any other members who are willing to make the presentations online? Yes? So now that Edirisingha is in your group, right? Okay, now it is finished, no? Right, so the others? Right, so there are no any other students who are in online to make the presentations. So then we can wind up the session. So next week you have that lecture. So that will be conducted by Mr. Sanjay Bandara. So I think he has discussed about Code of Ethics, audit report, forensic accounting, what else? Other assurance engagements, right? So then next week what he is supposed to discuss, you don't know, right? So he will be discussing next week with that some sort of that outstanding matters than any that wrap up session. If you want, you just make the request, then he will be doing that, right? So then from after next week you will have the online quiz. So for 20 marks and 20 questions. So for basically 30 minutes, right? So then you will be able to do that before the exam date that will be closed. So during that time it is available. Please make sure that to complete that as well. Then so as we have scheduled, you will get the 30 marks for the presentation and 20 marks for the quiz. So then altogether continuous assessments consist of 50 marks. The remaining 50 marks for the final exam. So that is already what we have discussed. So about the so the questions, the way that the questions will be tested. So therefore, please work hard to get the maximum out of that. So then you will you can do a lot of things. So you can get more marks. So thanks for your participation and your contribution, and hope that you enjoy that series of discussions. I mean, it's getting somewhat bored, but again, so you will get something out of that for your knowledge as well as for your working environment. So please apply that knowledge in when you are making your decisions and while you are working. So thanks a lot once again. So wishing you very best for your exam and the rest of the things. So thanks.
So, shall we wind up the session? Okay, thanks. For Edirisingha, you are in that group, no? So, okay, then it's okay, right? So, we'll be getting the marks. He's online. Okay.